Good morning, friends. Happy Saturday. So I've been thinking about artificial intelligence a bit, and I know everybody is pretty mixed on this. I think people that love it really love it, and I think that people hate it really hate it. And so I wanted to offer just some anecdotes of things that have been really helpful for me in terms of how to interface with it. So, if you're into self-development, personal growth, you may, do things like journal, or you may understand the value of just kind of getting your goals or getting your aspirations down on paper, creating some benchmarks and accountability for yourself. But if you're like me, I'm not a journaler. Like, I don't like to just sit down and just write. Like, I don't like a paper and pen. I never have, even though I was a writer for a while. Even like sitting and typing stuff out has never been kind of my jam. However, the chat feature on ChatGPT has been really valuable, especially in the morning when I drive to pickleball. I'll just pop it on and I'll start talking about what my goals are. So my weight loss goal, growing my business to $1 million a year, having a certain amount of impact, being able to pay people that work for me a lot of money so that they are secure. These are all things that I'm articulating, and then as they start to develop, I'm able to build on them. And the ChatGPT particular kind of interface is really great because it keeps a running dialogue, and then the more you talk to it, the more it kind of gives you support and ideas. And even when I was doing my weight loss journey, I was talking about different macro goals, or like how much I was training, and it was giving me really good feedback about how many calories I needed to take in, or like how beneficial fasting might be, or switching back to coffee from tea, because I was like, I feel like I need to enjoy my morning routine a little bit more. So all of these things have been really valuable, and I'm just curious if you guys have used it in this way, or if you find it to be valuable. I also find it really helpful to just kind of bounce like business ideas off of it. If I'm talking about content creation, or if I'm talking about the agency that I'm working with and they're running ads, and kind of what are the metrics of success and what should I be asking them, and things like that. So all things like business and personal growth oriented, I think the more you feed it, it'll at least just kind of give you a running dialogue, and it'll just kind of keep some benchmarks and some check marks in place. So that's been number one. Number two, and this one might be a little bit weird for some people, but I made an avatar of myself and I put it as my home screen on my phone. So I put myself like really beefy and jacked. I put myself standing in this $1 million home, like right near the ocean, with a big pile of cash, and a brand new sports car. And so every time I open my phone, this is like the first thing that I look at. And a couple of people have seen it and they've been like, oh, what's that? And I show them and they kind of like laugh, but when I explain to them why, they kind of are like, huh, that's interesting. So, I'm a big proponent, especially with all the meditation work I've done specifically with like Joe Dispenza's, like kind of visualizing your future outcome, and then getting your body and your nervous system really embrace the reality of that future outcome, which kind of draws that experience to you, and it kind of collapses time and brings you into that way of being faster. And I've seen this happen with myself and people that I've worked with, but I really love, I've only done it a couple times, but now even like with my weight loss journey, like I'm starting to look a lot more like this avatar that I built for myself. So I'm going to start playing with other outcomes. So putting myself in Bali, and putting myself playing pickleball and all this kind of stuff. So so I'm curious if anybody has experimented with ChatGPT in these ways, and kind of how you feel about it, and if you're feeling like it's been a net positive for you, or if you feel like it's been a net negative. So especially if you're like in the space of self-development again, growth, or even entrepreneurship, I think it can be really great to have somebody or something, in this case, to bounce ideas off of. So just curious to hear what you guys think. How is AI working for you, or is it working for you in the self-development space?